Hi there, my name is Chelsea Kozer. I am going to talk to you today a bit about conflict resolution and how I deal with conflict in my life and how I resolve the issue. And I've developed a word called ILRIA. It's a mnemonic device or an acronym that stands for identify the problem, look beyond, request solutions, identify solutions, and agreement. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about those five um, words or phrases and how I've compacted them into my mnemonic device that is ILRIA and how I utilize this in my life. So the I in ILRIA stands for identify the problem. So when a conflict arises, find out what the issue is and understand it clearly. So an example of that is to ask the person to talk to you about the issue. If I'm involved, I'm going to ask somebody, what exactly the problem is and how I'm involved. Second thing is find out the cause of the conflict, so figure out what exactly happened. And an example of this is to figure out how it began. Acknowledge the conflict, so figure out if you understand the issue or not, and if you don't, maybe figure out ways to understand it a little bit better, and figure out how you can assist in resolving the problem. The last thing is to ask yourself open-ended questions, and maybe other people involved open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are questions that don't result with a yes or a no answer. These questions, the answers to these questions will help you get to the bottom of what it is you're looking for. So how are you involved? Ask yourself how you're involved. Ask yourself how did you upset the person? Find out if you saw a relationship between you and the incident, and how you can help. The next letter in ILRIA is, or next two words in ILRIA are look beyond, and that's what the L comes from. So make sure that you get everyone's view if you look beyond the issue, and identify what your thoughts are with the issue, or identify what the other person's thoughts are too. Get both point of views. Find out how the solution can be changed. So ask yourself, what you can do to help, what you can do to get to the bottom of it. Get ideas for a resolution. So figure out what exactly is needed to move on and get to the resolution. And then, look at the perspective and what caused the issue. And, don't take it personal. That's really important. And if you're trying to get to the bottom of an issue, if you take it personal, you're going to have some barriers, and you might, hit a roadblock and not be able to move forward. So the next letter in ILRIA is R, and it's request solutions. So get everyone's viewpoint, figure out what you need, you and the other person, or you and the other people need to get past this issue. Find out from all parties involved how the situation can be changed. So ask yourself and ask the other people involved, what does our future look like? What can make the situation better? Identify what can make the situation better. So ask the person, how can I make things better between us? Or how can we all resolve the situation between us? I think asking those questions is very important, because if you don't ask questions, you'll never know. And then identify the solutions. So ask, what's the next course of action? Example of that is, so guys, what is our plan? What is our plan for the future? How can we avoid this from happening again? And then, ask, how can you help solve the problem? So an example would be, what can I do to help get to the root of the problem and help solve it? It's another great open-ended question. And then how do we solve the problem together? The agreement, which is A in ILRIA, is agree to an alternative solution. So how can we all agree? How can we get to the bottom of the issue? What will prevent the issue in the future? And what we can do to avoid it. I think that's really important, because if you find ways to deal with these issues but don't know how to prevent it in the future, it's sort of pointless. So this is very, very important. that's pretty much all I have. So ILRIA is an important part of my life. I've actually utilized it a few times, and I think it's important to look inside yourself and figure out ways to deal with conflict and prevent it, and then also find ways to learn about the people that you deal with and work with on a regular basis, and identify ways to get along and work together cohesively. So that is all I have for you today. I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hopefully you can use ILRIA in your life, and it helps you get to the bottom of a lot of issues that hopefully can be avoided. Thank you.